In the middle of a vast golden desert, where the sun baked the sand from morning until night, a young camel named Halo lived with his herd. He was friendly. He was kind. He made everyone around him laugh. But there was one thing that made Halo miserable every single day: his hump. It sat right there on his back, large and lumpy and impossible to ignore. When the wind blew, it caught the air and slowed him down. When he tried to walk under low-hanging branches, it got stuck. When the other young animals from nearby lands came to visit the watering hole, Halo always ended up standing at the back of the group, hoping nobody would stare. One day, a young gazelle looked at him and said, "What is that thing on your back?" Halo turned red under his fur and said, "Nothing. It is just something I was born with." The gazelle tilted his head and said, "Does it hurt?" Halo said, "No." The gazelle shrugged and walked away. But Halo stood there for a long time after that, staring at his own reflection in the water. That night, he made a decision. He was going to get rid of it. He tried rubbing it against a rock wall every morning, hoping it would slowly wear down. All he got was a sore back. He tried tying a wide flat piece of bark across it so it looked flatter. It fell off after 10 steps. He even asked an old desert tortoise if there was any herb or root that could shrink it. The tortoise looked at him for a long moment and then very slowly walked away without saying a single word. Nothing worked, and every failed attempt made Halo feel worse than before. Then one terrible season, the rains stopped completely. Weeks passed with no water. The desert became hotter and drier than anyone could remember. The watering hole shrank to almost nothing. Animals that did not store water well began to grow weak. The gazelles were struggling. Even some of the older animals were moving slower than usual. But Halo felt fine. He kept walking. He kept eating. He was not weak at all, and he could not figure out why. The oldest camel in the herd, a wide and weathered female named Ray, walked slowly up beside him one afternoon and said, "You are wondering why you are still strong?" Halo looked at her and said, "Yes. How am I not struggling like the others?" Dora looked at him calmly and said, "Because of your hump." Alo blinked. Alo blinked. Dora continued, "It stores everything your body needs to survive when the desert takes everything away. It has been quietly saving your life, your whole life. You just never needed it badly enough to notice." Halo stood very still and let that sink in. He thought about every morning he had spent rubbing it against a rock, every moment he had spent at the back of the group hoping nobody would look at him, and this whole time it had been the most powerful thing about him. That dry season, Halo became the one who guided the younger and weaker animals to patches of shade and hidden food. He stayed strong when others could not. He showed them how to keep moving when everything said to stop. And not one animal that season looked at his hump and saw something strange. They looked at it and saw the reason they were going to be okay. When the rains finally returned and the watering hole filled back up, Halo stood at the front of the group this time, not at the back. The same gazelle from before came running up to the water and stopped when he saw Halo. He looked at the hump and then looked at Halo and said, "I heard what you did this season." Halo smiled and said nothing. He just drank his water. The things we are most ashamed of about ourselves are very often the exact things quietly preparing us for the moment we will be needed most. Stop trying to fix what was never broken. Your difference is not your weakness, it is your gift. You just have not met the moment that proves it yet. We spend so much time looking at others and wishing we were built differently. Every creature was made exactly right for the life it was meant to live. And so were you. You were not made wrong. You were just made for a different kind of storm. Do not shrink the very thing that was built to save you. If this story hits you, share it with someone who needs it today. Subscribe for more stories like this one. See you next time.